Amazon gave something away for free. For 30 days, millions of people got unlimited free shipping, video streaming, music, exclusive deals, the whole package. No catch, no commitment. Just 30 days of everything Prime had to offer, handed over without asking for a cent. And then the 30 days ended, and something strange happened. Instead of walking away, which was completely free, completely easy, and completely logical, given that they'd paid nothing and lost nothing, the vast majority of people pulled out their credit cards and paid to keep it. Not because they needed it, not because they'd even used most of the features, but because somewhere in those 30 days, something had shifted in their brains. Something that made giving it up feel worse than the cost of keeping it. This isn't a coincidence. It isn't loyalty. It isn't even good marketing in the traditional sense. It's one of the most powerful and least understood forces in all of human psychology. And once you understand how it works, you'll see it running underneath some of the most profitable business decisions ever made. Let me tell you about an experiment first. In the late 1980s, two economists named Daniel Kahneman and Richard Thaler ran a study that's become one of the most replicated findings in behavioral economics. They walked into a university lecture hall and handed half the students a coffee mug. Just gave it to them. The other half of the room got nothing. Then they asked the students who had received mugs to name the lowest price they'd sell their mug for. And they asked the students without mugs to name the highest price they'd pay to buy one. Both groups were looking at the exact same mug. Same quality, same value, same everything. The students who owned the mug said they wouldn't sell for less than about $7. The students who didn't own one said they wouldn't pay more than about $3. Same mug, more than double the perceived value, just from the act of possession. Kahneman and Thaler called this the endowment effect. The moment you own something, your brain assigns it more value than it objectively has. Not a little more, roughly twice as much. But the deeper principle underneath it, the one Kahneman had already documented years earlier with his colleague Amos Tversky, is what makes all of this relevant to your business. It's called loss aversion. And the finding is almost uncomfortably simple. Losing something feels roughly twice as bad as gaining the same thing feels good. Losing $50 hurts approximately twice as much as finding $50 feels good. Having something taken away produces roughly double the emotional intensity of receiving the same thing. Your brain isn't wired to evaluate gains and losses equally. It's wired to protect what it already has, sometimes to a degree that overrides completely rational calculation. And the businesses that understand this aren't just observing an interesting quirk of human nature, they're designing their entire customer experience around it. Back to Amazon. When you sign up for a Prime free trial, Amazon doesn't just let you browse and decide whether it seems worth it. They give you everything immediately. Full access, real benefits, actual shipping on real orders you place during those 30 days. You don't evaluate Prime as a hypothetical. You live with it. You build habits around it. You get used to the 2-day shipping being there when you need it. And then the trial ends. At that point, the decision your brain is being asked to make isn't, is Prime worth $15 a month? That's the rational version of the question. The actual question your brain is processing is closer to, am I willing to lose what I already have for $15 a month? Those are not the same question. The second one is significantly easier to say yes to, and Amazon knows it. The renewal numbers bear this out directly. In early 2021, 93% of Amazon Prime members renewed their membership after the first year. 98% renewed after the second year. Those aren't conversion numbers built on people carefully weighing the value of unlimited shipping against a monthly fee. Those are numbers built on people being psychologically unwilling to give up something they'd come to feel they already owned. The free trial wasn't a gift, it was an installation process. For a feeling of ownership that would be far more expensive to walk away from than the subscription cost itself. And here's where this gets really interesting, and because Netflix uses the exact same playbook, but with a twist that makes the loss aversion even sharper. Netflix doesn't just give you access during a trial, they let you build a list. Your watch list, your recommendations, your viewing history, the half-finished series you were 3 episodes into, the documentary you saved for the weekend. All of that is yours. It lives on your account. Netflix surfaces it every time you open the app. And when your trial ends, canceling doesn't just mean losing a streaming service, it means losing your list, your history. The personalized experience that the algorithm has been quietly building around your specific taste. That's not an accident of product design. That's a deliberate accumulation of things you'd have to give up. Stacked intentionally so that the loss calculation when trial ends isn't $15 a month for movies, but everything I've already built here plus $15 a month to get it back. The loss isn't hypothetical. It's specific. It's yours. And it costs twice as much emotionally to walk away from something specific and personal as it does to pass on something abstract in general. So here's how you apply all of this directly to your own business. The first thing to understand is that loss aversion isn't just for subscription companies. It's a principle that can be built into any offer, any product, any service. If you understand what's actually being activated, the mechanism is this: give someone real access, real use, real ownership of something valuable before you ask them to pay for it. Not a demo, not a preview. Real value actually delivered, so that walking away means giving something up, rather than simply declining to acquire something new. If you sell a service, that might look like delivering one piece of genuine work up front before formalizing the engagement. If you sell a product, it might look like a genuine trial with no friction to start and significant friction to stop. If you run a community or membership, it might look like giving someone full access for a period and then asking them to decide, rather than asking them to imagine what they might get if they joined. The second application is in how you frame your offers. Research consistently shows that loss-framed messages outperform gain-framed messages on conversion, even when the underlying offer is identical. Don't lose access to your results converts better than keep access to your results. You'll miss the early price after Friday converts better than save money by buying before Friday. The information is the same. The emotional weight is different, and conversion follows the emotional weight, not the information. I've tested a basic version of this framing shift myself, changing a single line on a checkout page from get access to X to don't lose your spot in X. Same offer, same price, same page. The loss-framed version consistently outperformed the gain-framed version in the weeks I ran both. The third and most overlooked application is in your cancellation or churn flow. If someone is trying to leave, cancel a subscription, end a retainer, stop working with you. The moment they initiate that process is the highest leverage point you have to activate loss aversion deliberately. Not by making cancellation difficult or deceptive, but by making the loss visible and specific. Amazon's cancellation screen doesn't just say, "Are you sure?" It lists every benefit that will disappear, every saving, every feature, every piece of access that is about to stop existing on their account. You can do a version of this in your own business. Before someone cancels, show them specifically and concretely what they're walking away from. Not what they'll lose access to in abstract terms, but the specific things they've used, saved, built, or achieved while they were with you. Loss aversion doesn't make people stay against their better judgment, but it does ensure that the decision to leave is made with a full, clear picture of what that decision costs. And that picture, when it's specific and personal, is one of the most powerful retention tools available to any business at any size. The mug in that lecture hall was worth $3 to the people who didn't have one. It was worth $7 to the people who did. Nothing about the mug changed, only the question changed, from "is this worth having?" to "is this worth giving up?" Your job as a business owner isn't just to make your product worth having, it's to make it worth keeping. Those are different products, built differently, felt differently, and the businesses that understand that distinction, Amazon, Netflix, and hundreds of others running the same playbook at smaller scales, tend to keep their customers at rates that have nothing to do with price and everything to do with the quiet, powerful discomfort of giving something up. If this gave you something you can actually go test in your business this week, subscribe to The Corporate Mind. Every week, I go inside the real psychology and the real corporate stories behind how the world's most successful businesses actually operate, and show you exactly how to use the same principles yourself. I'll see you in the next one.